This angle works famously well on YouTube because it suggests the viewer is looking at a secret prototype rather than just a gadget. It moves beyond "is it good?" and asks "what is Sony planning?" This type of content drives high watch time and fierce debate in the comments. The PlayStation Portal, Sony's Trojan horse, the end of consoles. The PlayStation 5 might be the last console you ever buy. I know, that sounds insane. You look at your massive white tower sitting under your TV and think gaming isn't going anywhere. But you are wrong. The future of gaming is changing, and the evidence isn't hidden in a leaked document or a secret meeting. It is hiding in plain sight. It is sitting on store shelves right now, disguised as a harmless $200 accessory. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about the PlayStation Portal. But we're not going to talk about screen size or battery life today. That is what everyone else talks about. We are going to talk about what this device actually represents. Because if you think this is just a remote play screen, you have fallen for the trap. The Portal is a Trojan horse. It is a prototype for a future where the console doesn't exist at all. And whether you love it or hate it, you are already part of the experiment. Let's look at the facts. For decades, the rules of gaming were simple. You buy a box, you plug it into a TV, you sit on a couch. But the Portal breaks that rule. It severs the physical connection between the player and the console. When you hold the Portal, your PS5 could be in the next room, or it could be 10 miles away. To your brain, it doesn't matter. The experience is in your hands. This is Sony training us. They are conditioning us to stop looking at the box and start looking at the screen. Think about the timing. Why release this now? Why release a handheld that can't play games on its own? It's because the technology inside the Portal isn't the point. The connection is the point. Sony is testing the waters for a fully cloud-based future. Right now, you're streaming from your local PS5. But in 5 years, that PS5 won't be in your house. It will be in a server farm in California, and you will be holding a Portal 2 playing GTA 6 without owning a console at all. The Portal is the bridge to that future. But let's come back to the present, because the Trojan horse theory only works if the device is actually good. And this is where things get complicated. The Portal is the most frustratingly brilliant piece of tech I have touched in years. It fixes the one problem that mobile gaming could never solve, the touchscreen problem. We have all tried playing Call of Duty or Fortnite on a phone. It's miserable. Your thumbs cover the screen. The controls are floaty. You have no precision. The Portal solves this by brute force. They literally took the best controller in the world, the DualSense, and built a screen around it. This sounds lazy, but it is genius. It means that muscle memory translates perfectly. You don't have to learn how to play on the Portal. You pick it up, and your hands already know what to do. That instant familiarity is why people are addicted to it. It removes the barrier between mobile and console. However, we need to discuss the digital divide. The Portal is discriminatory. I'm serious. This device loves rich infrastructure. If you live in a city with fiber optic internet and a $500 mesh router system, the Portal feels like magic. It feels like the game is running inside the device. But if you live in an area with spotty internet, or if you are using the standard router your ISP gave you in 2018, the Portal is a brick. It is useless. This is the biggest gamble Sony took. They released a device that relies 100% on your home environment. When it lags, you don't blame your router. You blame Sony. You blame the Portal. That is a massive risk for a brand that prides itself on plug and play. But when it works, it creates a feeling that no other handheld can match. The Steam Deck is great, but it is heavy, loud, and the screen is just okay. The Switch is legendary, but the graphics are dated. The Portal sits in the middle. Next-gen graphics, ergonomic perfection, but tethered by an invisible Wi-Fi chain. There is another hidden aspect here that is changing the gaming industry, the backlog effect. Ask any gamer what their biggest problem is. It's not money, it's time. We all have 50 games in our library that we bought and never played. We are too tired to sit at the desk after work. The Portal is the cure for the backlog. Data shows that Portal owners are finishing more games than regular console owners. Why? Because it turns serious gaming into casual gaming. You can grind through a boring part of Final Fantasy while half watching a movie. You can collect resources in Minecraft while lying in bed. It lowers the stakes. It makes gaming accessible in 15-minute bursts. This is vital for the gaming economy. Sony knows that if you play more, you buy more. The Portal isn't designed to sell hardware. It is designed to keep you subscribed to PlayStation Plus. It is an engagement machine. And we have to talk about the ecosystem trap again, because it is the most Apple-like move Sony has ever made. The lack of Bluetooth is not an oversight. It is a wall, a garden wall. By forcing you to use PlayStation Link, Sony is building a closed loop. They want you to own the console, the Portal, the earbuds, and the subscription. They are locking you in. It is aggressive, it is anti-consumer, and financially, it is brilliant. They are betting that the experience is good enough that you will pay this Sony tax to stay in the walled garden. So where does this leave us? Is the Portal a glimpse into a dystopian future where we own nothing and stream everything? Or is it just a really cool gadget for dads who can't use the TV? The answer is both. The PlayStation Portal is the most specialized, selfish device you can buy. It is one thing. It doesn't play movies. It doesn't browse the web. It plays your PS5 games. That's it. In a world where every device tries to do everything, phones that are cameras, watches that are phones, the Portal is refreshing because it is focused. It is a dedicated machine for joy. If you are scared of the cloud future, looking at the Portal might make you nervous. It proves that streaming works. It proves that the console box is becoming optional. But if you just want to play Spider-Man 2 while tucked under a warm blanket on a rainy Tuesday night, there is no better device on Earth. The verdict: the PlayStation Portal is not essential. You do not need it to live. But once you have it, you realize how much you hated being stuck in one chair. It breaks the chains of the living room, only to replace them with the chains of Wi-Fi. If you are ready to see the future of gaming, buy the Portal. If you want to stick to the past, keep your console. But don't say I didn't warn you when the PlayStation 6 is just an app on a screen. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and understand the tech that is secretly shaping our future, you need to subscribe right now. We don't just review tech, we analyze the endgame. Share this video with your gaming group, especially the skeptics, and start the debate. And hit that bell icon because the industry is moving fast and you don't want to get left behind. I'm signing off. Go fix your Wi-Fi, and I'll see you in the next one.